Yeah, so let me just explain to you one thing very quickly, which is I have put a petition in to ban two words in India for 5 years. They are Sanskriti and Parampara. Okay, I can't bear them anymore. Because every time something happens, some conservative person will come up and say, Meri Sanskriti mein nahi hai, meri Parampara mein nahi hai. So what is your Sanskriti and what is my Sanskriti? What is his Parampara? What is their Parampara? I mean, everything is, subjective. So it's a very difficult thing to do. So what is this freedom of expression? As far as I'm concerned, I think it's pretty logical. There's some lines you try not to cross because it's just pure insult, etc., and abuse and promoting violence and all that. Beyond that, I think why do people who are in very high positions, powerful, people running the country, etc., running the states, etc., why are they fragile? I can't understand, because if a comedian makes a joke, it cannot destroy that power of that personality. I mean, it just makes no sense. There's no real connection to that. But the real problem in India is not so much freedom of expression. It's still there in fits and starts. We've had some great satire writers from Premchand onwards, and even before that. I mean, Birbal was a satirist from all I gather. I don't know, I wasn't there, but so we have that. That tradition is there in all languages of India. But the biggest problem that nobody wants to talk about is a bimari called psychophancy. You see, we are the biggest number of chelas and chamchas in the world live in India. So when somebody takes offense, that guy doesn't even know that there's offense against his mightiness. But these chelas run around breaking things, destroying things. In the case of Kunal Kamra, the comedian, 43 days after the video was released, they attacked Habitat, which is just a place. Making a connection between the seats and the doors and the frames and things like that, and what happened there. So it's just, for me, honestly, the freedom of expression thing begins and ends with the fact that maybe you're just not tolerant people. And the only way that you can have tolerance is if rule of law is applicable. So when you behave like a vagrant and a gunda, the rule of law applies to you. But see, this is for Maria and Rajdeep and all to handle. They are the bastions of journalism, not me. I'm an out-of-work actor, singer, dancer. I'm available for private parties and puppeteering also, especially for children's functions and divorces. So please bula de, 50% discount. Just talk to the organizers of Talk Journalism. Cheers. Any other questions?
Well, I'm going to step away from the speaker. So, Cyrus, does criticism and these bashings come about? Does it tone down your enthusiasm to for
okay, forget India for a second. Right now, Stephen Colbert in America has the biggest late night show, talk show. Okay, it's another thing that talk shows and late night shows seem to be dying in America. But they've cancelled him because somebody who is bought over Paramount, which owns the channel he's on, basically is a Trump supporter. So he's been given the boot immediately. So it's not like it won't happen elsewhere. But fundamentally, honestly, the problem is that in some way or the other, we've got to build a society where people can just take some jokes and let it go, especially larger individuals and powerful individuals. Otherwise, it's pointless. We won't be able to do anything. Our jokes will be on our families. That's it. I'll make jokes on Parsis and walk out. I can't do anything more. So that's a bit sad that you can't, express issues. Like, for example, in Maharashtra, we have this language thing that's going on and people are beating up shopkeepers. And strangely, they are taking videos of themselves doing the beating and assaulting, or uploading it, and no action is taken. So, I mean, that itself is higher comedy than what I can provide. Because they're doing it, they're all getting into the frame also, going on thappar, getting in the frame, making sure they're seen. You can see them looking for the camera like bad actors and all that. And yet there's no action really taken. We had a guy in the Vidhan Sabha, an MLA, who slapped a canteen worker because the food was stale. He slapped and punched him. And then his bahana was, he spoke in Marathi, but the bahana, I'll give it to you roughly, was, I'm a warrior, I'm a boxer, I'm a wrestler. So if you don't give me good food, I will hit you. This guy is a custodian of law. This is why you get scared. This person is in charge of the law machinery and making and implementing laws. And his logic is thus. Was action taken against him? No, I think he's getting fresh food from Zomato as far as we speak. So, so until there's a little bit of a political conscience and some people who are in power, and that's why I think we met one fabulous politician today. I hope, this guy goes to the center as well, because he seems to be really mentally in the right space as far as I'm concerned. At least someone I can connect with, because at some point we all have to connect with these guys. But otherwise, there are too many gundas and just, bullies who are running the states and the country. I mean, there's no point to it. And someone like Kunal Kamra has to run to another state to survive what? I mean, what is he? He's just a comedian with a really bad singing voice. He should be arrested for singing. I mean, nothing else. So for me, it's a bit sad. that sometimes it looks like we're going forward, then we go backwards. We're going forward, then we're going backwards. Some people will say in 2001 or 2002 or 3, you were able to say things, and 2010, 12, 14, 15, you're saying less things. And then you come to 2025, and are you regressing even more in terms of what you can say about who and where? So it's a bit worrisome, but that's why I have my LLB to fall back on. And Ayaz, me and Shraddha are starting a firm. So anybody with legal issues in Rajasthan, come to us. We'll bill you first, and then we'll see what happens.
There's a strong connection between people with satire or comedy and interestingness. I've always seen that people with a sense of humor is very good to hang around them. Jolly people. I saw you on the breakfast table today, and what a jolly scene. I wish I could have joined you.
No, I'm part of catering. That's totally different. I'm sorry I didn't serve you because all these people were calling for puris and all here. They're very difficult to please.
I want you to, there's lots of youngsters out here. And how do we build on this habit of becoming good at humor and also taking good humor well?
See, okay, forget politics. Let's look at that Samay Raina and Ranveer case, Allahabad. Okay, it's a show which is based on an American, Tony Hinchcliffe, I think his name is, show, where they only try to offend you in a sense and just go beyond. They're very, very edgy and very sexual and very perverse and all that. But that's the nature of the beast. So if you're watching it, then that's what you want to watch because you know that's what it is. Like if you're watching a T20 match, you know it's a short 20-over cricket match. You know, you're not just putting it on and whatever. So I'm saying we have to understand if that's allowed, that's allowed. And then, if it's not your thing, you don't watch it. Because you can't come from another world and say, oh, this is so offensive. It makes no sense to me. Similar with satire. If you're okay with comedy, watch it. If you don't want to watch it, you can watch so many other shows. There's plenty to watch. Used to be Countrywide Classroom when I was young on Doordarshan. Fabulous. 30 minutes of riveting programming, nothing happens, just paintings in the background, and a teacher talking about chemistry with a blackboard slowly, and the sound of the chalk. I mean, who can match that entertainment? So whatever. There's lots of things available. But when people start fighting, immediately all the celebrities started taking sides and saying, they've crossed the line, how can they talk like this, how can they talk like that? They were all happy to go on the show because it was doing so well, till this happened, and then they retract and suddenly become conservative. Parampara Sanskriti flashes in their mind and all that, and suddenly we go back 200 years for whatever reason. Now, having said that, I personally, I don't like that kind of show in the sense that it's not my kind of thing, but I would defend their right to have a show. So if you're a free country, then you have that as well. I mean, that's the way it is. It is freedom of expression. You can have, there are many ways to censor it, so kids don't watch it, or to warn people. Like if my old mother by mistake put it on, I'm sure it would be difficult for her to digest. So there are ways to, to do that, to put locks on it, for example. But are we looking forward or are we looking backwards? Because all of us like dirty jokes. They're all lying if they don't. If I'm in the dressing room with Ayaz and two other guys, the things we say, why are we lying and pretending we don't say all these things? So what's the big deal? The real issues aren't the bloody jokes of Samay Raina and Ranveer Allahabad. The issues are much more deeper. So that we're getting sidetracked thinking about all these things. It's a waste of time. We've got to progress as a society, build things, education, cohesiveness, make people feel secure, business, commerce. Back in Maharashtra, Metro now 2050, we are hoping. Okay, they said 5 years, they didn't give a date, but after 2 years again, they say 5 years. So this 5 years never comes. It's like someone who never gets married. There's so much to focus on, bringing the rural, bridging the rural and urban gap and all kinds of things. And like the good minister spoke about, I think the diversity is actually a fantastic thing about India. You can't talk about us in one breath and say we're all like this. We're not like this. We're all a mixed up race, and we're also mixed up in terms of what we like and what we want to hear and see. So honestly, don't attack the comedians. I feel that's like, the low-hanging fruit, or the canteen worker who may serve stale food, but you can't punch him. This is the 2025. You can't get up and punch a guy because, hey, kya hai? Kadak nahi hai mera dosa. How can you behave like that, yaar? I don't even know what to say because, it's not, a 5-year-old child won't behave like that. No, there's a point where this is just beyond civic sense. So, this is where we stand.
Yeah. Any questions for Cyrus? Okay, let's get the microphones magically come to you.
हेलो माय वॉइस या तो आपने जो अभी बात कही उस पे बस मुझे वो एक शेर याद आ गया आपने जो व्यवस्था के ऊपर बोला कि बर्बाद गुलिस्तां करने को बस एक ही उल्लू काफी था बर्बाद गुलिस्तां करने को बस एक ही उल्लू काफी था अंजाम गुलिस्तां क्या होगा जब हर शाख पे उल्लू बैठा है so this is the case.
Get him a ticket. Let him contest. A liberal mind. There's a lady at the back.
So we've seen evolution in all the industries. But today, when we talk about satire industry, we see that today jokes are taken seriously and serious matters are taken as jokes. And satire has been a forever form of protest, right? But now people are somewhere resenting it. I do not know what is it. Is it now that they can't take jokes, or is it that they are bigger jokes? This is what...
See, all this is to do with the fragile male ego, if you really look at it from a social point of view. Across the world, we have males with very fragile egos. As they go up in life, their egos become smaller, as in bigger and more fragile. And what happens is that they react to every little thing which is out there on the internet. And, you know, at the end of the day, I don't even know why they react. But again, I'm saying psychophancy is the problem. It's the chamchas and the chelas who go berserk. And they won't leave you. They'll start the threats. They'll troll you. Just go ask Rajiv about trolling. He's won the world record as one of the greatest trollers. Kim Jong-un has not been trolled that much. And that man has done nothing for humanity in the last 5 years. So, you know, somehow or the other, we have to blame ourselves in all this mess. Because somehow or the other, we've allowed this to happen. Because all these people in the room, by and large, are all liberals except for Shraddha, who's very aggressive and says all kinds of wrong things at the wrong time. But no, I'm kidding. You're very liberal. But that's perhaps not a good sample size of all over India. And the biggest mistake we think is, oh, rural India mein conservative log hai, urban India mein liberal log hai. Nothing like that. The conservative and liberal thinking and the rigid thinking is just to do with the human being. Nothing to do with language, race, where they're coming from, money, just the way they are. You'll find the most liberal taxi driver telling you all kinds of liberal things and with a great conscience and a real secular, egalitarian sense about him. And you may get one of the guys who's gone to Wharton and studied and come back and completely, absolutely nuts with a very rigid way of thinking. So, in a way, I guess we have to blame ourselves. So maybe we can outsource the country for 2 years. What do you guys think? And who do you suggest we outsource?
Somebody at the very back had some questions. Okay, here. Yeah. Actually, if you... Yeah, take that, and after that, we'll pass on the mic here.
Hello. So, sir, you have been in TV scene for the longest time,
just
right?
don't call me sir. No? I'm very pro-egalitarian. I want sir removed, sir, ma'am, all that. Just let's remove it now.
So you have been in the TV
said
scene
sir
and
again.
the comedy scene since a very long time, probably before I was even born, right?
I apologize.
And
I'll wait for your birth next time. My mistake.
so since the time like you were doing this, like let's say a very interesting journalist on Republic TV, whose ex-boss is here, you were doing his parody to the time where Kunal Kamra's case, where he didn't even take the name of the politician and he still got like cases against him. Do you think that we are becoming more intolerant, or is it just that comedy is being taken into the mainstream and more people are being aware about it? And also that there is this phenomena where everybody has to have an opinion about everything. There cannot be a person who does not have an opinion. That person might get like more backlash than a person who is against your opinion.
No, coming back to the specifics of that case you mentioned, I think it was slightly engineered. Opposition parties had made sure that that whole video went viral. Suddenly everybody saw it. So obviously it starts with Mumbai, Maharashtra, and from there it goes across India, pan-India, when it gets viral. That's when they started reacting. So the fear of this information where it makes them look bad or you know, puts them down or insults them or whatever, that was the reaction to that. But again, I'm saying you're chief ministers and, ministers and very powerful bureaucrats and businessmen and whatever. How does it affect you, some silly thing like this? And okay, if you want to go to the courts, defamation, libel, whatever, we have a civic structure in place, please go ahead. But once you start breaking infrastructure, if you use the official machinery for your purposes, so you have the BMC rushing to judge that structure, you have the police already there. We have a studio right opposite Habitat, so we saw the whole thing. It's quite ridiculous how quickly they reacted. My worry was that, if somebody was robbing my house, how long would I get, for us to get a reaction would take probably 3 days. So, but this happened very quickly. So that's the sad part, that the machinery is all being used for this, And unfortunately, there's no public outcry. There's a little bit of it, but there's not enough public outcry. Because we have to preserve the public. We have to preserve what we believe is liberty. Liberty is the most important thing, and he has the right to free speech, as we say. And we have a court system where you can fight him if you feel he has defamed you. And that's all there is to it. There's no need for somebody to go on the road and break things. Mumbai, we are famous for, from the 80s. When you get angry, you just break everything on the road, Rasta Roko. And that's it. So taxis are broken, but they've got nothing to do with the fight. Whoever's there, you just destroy everything, which makes no sense. So we just want that to end somehow or the other. And that's why I want Ayaz to be the next leader of the country.
Sir, at the end, I loved your podcast on the Untriggered podcast. Loved it.
Thank you very much, sir. And so nice of you to dress so well, wearing a tie and all, for someone as cheap as me. I'm highly embarrassed.
Okay, let's go to question at the back.
It's great to see you in Jaipur, and you know, if not as good, I think you're even better in person than you're online. And
you better tell my wife.
So it's just nothing is sensational enough, you know, like everything and everyone is just trying to grab your attention. That's just the way the world is today. So how does anyone take anything seriously? You know, there are some really horrific things happening, like planes crashing and things that you spoke about, you know, like shopkeepers, innocent shopkeepers getting beaten up for, you know, no fault of theirs. So where does this go? Like, it doesn't seem, you know.
Yeah, but see, this is a misuse of law at the end of the day, right? Because when you, it's a crime to assault somebody, and the action should be taken against them, which wasn't taken, which isn't being taken. And in 3 or 4 states in India, this is going on, the language imposition in various versions or whatever. And then the Gundagardi happens and nothing seems to, you know, nobody does anything about it. So that's very scary. But there's a little hope. The younger people in the audience here, I think at some point they'll say enough, because they are far more liberal. They understand that the world has got more to it than just, you know, somebody's ego. And so I'm thinking maybe at some point the younger generation will save our country. I think Shraddha, Ayaz, myself, we've done our bit and it's not going to change. Because what happens is whenever it's a powerful figure, the law changes. They do what they want and there's no repercussion. There's no consequences. Whether it's the canteen guy, whether it's this beating up that happens, whether it's rioting, anywhere in the country. As long as you're a powerful figure, there's no problem. Hate speech all over the country. There's no action taken. Yeah, but you know, a comedian makes a couple of jokes and boom, he has to leave the country and perform in Shanghai, which is not right. But so I'm hoping, how many people under 25 here? You can lie, girls, but you don't know. And you all look young. So under 25, you got a decent amount. Right, right. Any of you getting into politics? Not one? Ayaz, you're putting your hand up. No? One. You'll get into politics? Great, all right. And you have a liberal bent of mind? Are you a liberal? Are you like, you're not a liberal. So what are you? Huh? You're an Indian male. That's it, you don't say more than that. Yeah, cool. All right, so the hope is the future, let's see. Yes? You want to ask something? Yes. Go ahead.
Hi, Cyrus. Here. Cyrus, this side.
But
straightforward.
That's a girl's voice. I mean, that's really scary.
So girls first. Girls first, please.
This is like a Hong Kong martial arts film. Because the person and the voice are not the same at all. I kill you! Who's talking?
So, okay. Hi, Cyrus.
Hello,
so it's about tolerance, intolerance every time. So what I think that why we are not talking about the balanced tolerance, because we are very extremist. Either we go right or we go left.
No, you're right.
So when it comes to satire is nothing new. It's there from ages. But people like you, which are witty, which don't infiltrate to any other thing, so it is a gateway moment for us. So why people like you should not collaborate and talk about balanced tolerance for both the sides, whether it's audience or the custodians. So probably this age, the Gen Zs, probably could able to nurture themselves in a way that they can take such things.
No one's got, we don't have the blueprint on what is right and wrong and what is correct to say or not say. Absolutely right. All voices should be heard. I'm talking about whether there are consequences for crimes. You see, what you can do to someone who's expressing themselves? You can turn off the TV, you can stop watching the show, you can stop subscribing. That's all. That's the relationship. You don't have to do more than that. Why do you have to go and break things and burn things and all that? It makes no sense. And if that happens, then the rule of law should be also followed, right? And some action should be taken. Otherwise, it's just bullying. So you're absolutely right. It's not like my view is the correct view or his view is the correct view. I agree. The whole idea of democracy is we must all have our views. And you must express them correctly. And it should be out there. Otherwise, you're right, you can be too left. That makes sense. You don't go there either. Wokeism, as you can see, became perverse after some time. So, absolutely correct. Please, I'm always for that. And I think when we were discussing this entire audience and show, it's very important to show members of all parties to come here and have that's a sense of democracy. That means India is thriving and robust. It's fabulous. But what we're talking about here, about the freedom of expression, I'm more worried about the rule of law, where it doesn't apply and people in powerful position. It's not about one party or the other. Maharashtra has about 17 parties who are together. In each party has 4 factions. So it's you don't take tuitions to understand Marathi politics at the moment.
Yes, but then in that particular case, we need to create a ripple effect to get it reached to those particular parties or the person who can actually, being the custodian of the same. Otherwise, there is no point. Matlab, we can discuss it thoroughly on podcast, on channels, on everywhere, but matlab, how it could settle then?
People in power have to have respect for law. If a person in power who's a part of the legislature punches and kicks a canteen worker, for what? For serving him bad food? This is not a good story. It's like an Amitabh Bachchan story from the 80s, and then, the guy grows up and the canteen worker then becomes a Naxalite or a Gunda or something like that and starts destroying people. You can see the story going from there. So,
yeah. It's awesome. Agree with you, Cyrus.
I think the MLA supporter has come and immediately said, boss, both ho gaya. Let us hear the other side. And you're right, sir.
Absolutely right. Yeah.
So, can we just, poor thing has been trying 3 times in typical chauvinistic audience and not let the lady speak.
हेलो दुष्यंत कुमार की एक लाइन है, मैं वहां से शुरू करना चाहूंगी कि
तो सवाल वो नहीं है, उसके बाद सवाल।
हाँ, उसके बाद सवाल।
सर, यू आर राइट, कॉल इट।
मेरी कोशिश ये है कि सूरत बदलनी चाहिए, मेरे सीने में नहीं तो तेरे सीने में सही, कहीं भी हो आग लेकिन ये आग जलनी चाहिए। जिस तरीके से अभी का माहौल है, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ये आग एक न एक दिन जरूर जलेगी। और फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच के साथ साथ जिस तरीके से कला को दबाया जा रहा है, मैं आपसे ये जानना चाहती हूँ कि इसके नुकसान आगे हमें कितने भुगतने पड़ेंगे। व्हाट्सएप यूनिवर्सिटी तो उसका काम कर ही रहा है बहुत बेहतरीन तरीके से, लेकिन ये फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच के साथ साथ कला को जो सप्रेस करने की कोशिश की जा रही है, इसके नुकसान क्या होंगे?
नुकसान ये है इसमें कि बेसिकली यू डू सेल्फ सेंसरशिप फर्स्टली। उसमें आर्ट जो है, कला जो है, यू ऑलरेडी सैक्रिफाइस्ड इट। क्योंकि अगर आप सेल्फ सेंसरशिप करते हैं आर्टिस्ट के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, आपकी सोच विचार को आप ऐसा सेंसर करके या नैरो करके, यू जस्ट किल योर आर्ट फॉर्म, राइट? बिकॉज योर फ्रीडम ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन मतलब यू आर फ्री टू जस्ट थिंक and then write or perform or whatever it is. But if you're already thinking कि मैं सिर्फ ये बोल सकते हैं, where's the question of art? It's just like a maths exam or something where you just got 3-4 points and you have to make it. So I think the worst thing is for ourselves as artists, and the loss really is for the artists themselves, that they have started worrying. But the positive thing of this is, how do you try and make your point without offending people? Exactly what that gentleman said. So we don't want to get people away. We want to bring people in. So make your point to all parties. Try and get them all to listen to what you have to say. That would be the genius of the art, if anyone can do that. But that's beyond me. I think the one person who can do that is this lovely gentleman, sir.
That's right, Cyrus.
Thank you.
You got it right.